Hey, welcome back to Soumya's Chai and Chat. In today's episode, we will go over an experience that Gandhi went through going to Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. Stay tuned. So Gandhi was traveling to a city called Rangoon to meet one of his friends, and he halted there in Calcutta with another Bengali friend. And they've had a lot of fruits and nuts for their lunch, breakfast, dinner, and that was his main food. And he observed that wherever he stayed, his friends tried to make him feel very comfortable and have a lot of fruits on the plate. And this was bothering Gandhi because he didn't want to give trouble to anybody, especially his friends. The excess attention and making him feel special were some of the things that bothered Gandhi. And he was also traveling on the boat to this place called Rangoon, and the boat, he was a deck passenger, and he talks about a bit of cleanliness habits. He has mentioned this before, even traveling on the train and even in the boat, that how people are very careless about or mindless about their traveling. They are spitting where they sit, and their luggage is more than their own occupancy, and the restrooms are horrendous. Everywhere the peeing and poop is everywhere, and he explains they have to jump through to get to the place to properly do the job. And this was bothering Gandhi, and of course he lived outside for many years, going back to India and having to go through this experience. And moreover, a person who seeks change and wants to bring change in the society, these are the things that bothers, and wanted to make a change happen. I reflected on this, and even to this day when I travel on the train, it is extremely appalling to see things have not changed much. People still spit around the same place where they sit. The restrooms are still horrible. We have not moved even 1 inch in terms of hygienic practices. I don't know if it is the societal thinking or the culture, or are we too lazy to keep our own surroundings clean and maintain for a long term. So for the boat journey, he writes a letter to the officer, and then on his way back, his journey was a bit better, as he suggests. And this was year 1915, and there was Kumbh Mela that was happening in Haridwar. So Gandhi reflects on this experience where he sees massive amounts of people coming in for Kumbh Mela, and trying to understand if people really want to get rid of their sins they come there for, or is it a mere satisfaction to the outward life based on the peer pressure. To me, it is like going to temple. I do feel very good when I'm there, but I do think about other things which are not 100% well kept or 100% clean in the way of thinking, or in the way of doing, or in the way of practicing. Therefore, I do relate to this when he talks about Kumbh Mela, where there are so many people going and trying to participate in this biggest spiritual event that happens once in 12 years. And him not really being practicing going to these big events, and as a religious events, he is more inward looking person, this would have come out as a shock. So the overall journey he had was not only comprised of animal cruelty or that he observes, or the hygienic practices that was lacking, but there were also other real sages that he saw who had given up everything and were there for the mere spiritual aspect of Kumbh Mela. And that day Gandhi reflects on his stay in their friend's place and how much inconvenience it was causing. And that's when he decides to never ever take more than 5 parts of fruits in 24 hours and not to eat after dark, that is, finish his eating before sunset. He also takes into consideration about what happens if he falls ill, what if he took medication, and doesn't leave anything to the last minute, considers every single scenario and includes in his planning for his sticking to his 5 different meals, which consists of only fruits and nuts in 24 hours.